afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's ClaritySoft webinar. Today is Tuesday, July 14th, 2020. My name is Susan Arnold, Implementation Specialist here at ClaritySoft, and our topic for today is an introduction to the marketing module. The marketing module in ClaritySoft is an add-on module that you purchase extra with your ClaritySoft database. And the basics of that module will give you 10,000 emails per month to be able to send out. And those emails go out through our email server, not through your normal Outlook or Gmail server. So we're going to move on here to our agenda for today. So first of all, what we want to do is a quick overview of the marketing module. SMTP versus marketing domain. This is why you get the marketing module. If you are using Outlook or Gmail to send your emails, you are limited in the number of emails that you can send out per day without getting yourself in trouble with them. And so what you need to do is sign up with someone who has the licensing to be able to send out larger batches of email. So there are things like MailChimp, Constant Contact, which many people use. We have set this up for our users with ClaritySoft so that you can email directly from within ClaritySoft out through our marketing domain, okay? Also, we have recently added the ability for you to purchase your own custom domain so that when you send out, you're going through your own company name, not on behalf of ClaritySoft. So that is something that if you're not doing that presently and you're interested in it, you can talk with your account rep about. Once you get into the marketing module, one of the first things you do is set up the email addresses you wish to send from on a tab called Clarity Mail. Then we're going to look at how to build a template. There are different functionalities, blocks, content, and style for building your templates in the marketing module that allow you to create graphic type documents, templates to send. And then you have a way to preview your email and send a test so you can see how it's going out, what it looks like when you receive it. And saving the template. You can build, I believe, up to 100 templates in the marketing module and save them. Then we will select an email campaign or create an email campaign and send it out, a sample campaign, so you can see how that works. You also can schedule your emails to go out. They don't have to go out when you click send. You can schedule them for tomorrow or next week or a specific date. Then once we've sent the emails, you get to review your campaign results. How many of the emails were delivered? Did any bounce? Did any people unsubscribe? And you get those statistics back, and we'll look at where those statistics are under the campaign tab. And then I have some tips for successful campaigns. For all of you, just yesterday on our knowledge base, we added a topic for looking at what are some tips and tricks and things to look at when you're creating your email templates. There are some rules you should follow. So if you're brand new to this, you want to read that information so that you know how your emails can get stopped by spam filters and things like that. So let's move forward here. All right, so in ClaritySoft, if you have the marketing module, it will be under a topic over here that says Email Manager, okay? But when you click on it, my module name has been changed. But when you click on Email Manager, if you have the marketing module, when you get here, it will say marketing up here. If you don't have the marketing module, it will still say Email Manager here. And the only tab that you will see in here is email tracking, okay? You will not see any of the other tabs that are here. So if some of you aren't sure, whether you have the marketing module or not. That's how you will know. All right. So just like the other modules in ClaritySoft, across the top you have your different filters. So the quick search box is here if you wanted to search on a campaign name. You can click in there. Here are some time filters to show you, well, what are my campaigns that I sent out just this week? Okay, I haven't sent any out this week, but I have sent 2 out this month. So the month is currently July. So you can choose your filters. So if you come here and you see nothing, it's probably the filter up here. All right. And I believe it will default to this week. So all you need to do is come up here and change it. And I'm going to put mine down here. And then you can also choose, well, what user has some campaigns or has sent campaigns or has campaigns scheduled. So you can search by a user too. So if you know you sent a campaign, you can look for yourself. And then this is your refresh button. This list here is a list of all the contacts who have unsubscribed. So when you click on it, you will see a list of those folks who have unsubscribed from your emails, and they end up on the unsubscribed list. If for some reason they want to go back onto the list, then you can click on their name and resubscribe them. But anyone who's unsubscribed will not in future emails be included, even though their name might come up in the filter, they will not be sent an email. And this button is for unsubscribed leads from the leads module. Okay, so you can view those at any point in time. And then your standard list all button. Over here, this will tell you how many emails that you've sent during the current month. So for the month of July, I have sent out 14 emails through email campaigns, and I have a total of 50,000. Like I said, normally you would get 10,000. That's the standard, but you can up it if you wish, if you need more per month. So these all reset on the first day of the next month. So you have 10,000 for July, then you get another 10,000. And you can send them out in batches of really any number you want up to the full 10,000. So if you wanted to send out, 10,000 emails today, you could do that, but then you're stuck with not being able to use the marketing module until the 1st of August. So this gives you a running count up here so you know how many you have sent out for the current month. Then we have our different tabs here. The campaign tracking tab shows you all the campaigns that you've sent out. When you send a campaign, you give it a name so you can identify it. It tells you the date it was sent, who sent it, what module it was sent from. You are able to send campaigns from the leads module, contacts, opportunities, activities, quotes, sales, and the support module. So you can send an email out through the marketing module from any of those modules, okay? Then it will say how many emails went out, how many were delivered, how many were opened, okay? And then it will say unique click is that they clicked on something inside the email if you had a link in there, and then how many bounces there were, and how many unsubscribed. So it will give you those statistics overall per campaign, all right? And then underneath the campaign are more charts and statistics. I'll come back to that in a minute. A/B testing tab allows you to compare 2 different campaigns. So you could start typing, you could say, well, I want to compare this campaign with another campaign, okay? Maybe you designed your template a little bit differently, something you did that was different, and then you can choose the 2 campaigns, you click on show analysis, and it will then show you the difference between the 2, which one was better, what had a better result. And so you can see the statistics down here. Most of mine all go to me, so I don't always open the emails. So the statistics are not necessarily the best statistics here, but you can see it tells you how many went out, how many were delivered, how many were open, and so forth. Like this one, nobody opened my email. Here, all 7 of them were open. So that means that particular campaign was, this one was a better campaign, I suppose, okay? So that's what that A/B testing is. And then you can reset it to go back and compare 2 more. Email tracking, this is really a place for your users to go that aren't using necessarily the marketing module, but they want to see what emails have gone out that they've sent out perhaps. So if I go here, let's see what I've got here. I could choose myself, and then I can see, well, what emails have I sent out of ClaritySoft? So any emails that you send out of ClaritySoft, they can be an email blast, they can be an individual email, whatever. And then again, you see the same information. What was the subject line of the email? What account, what contact person, who it's from, and then how many times they read it and when they last read it. So this is a way for people when they send something out to check and see, well, did the person read it and when did they last read it? So then you can do some follow-up calls with that person. So this is for any email that gets sent out of ClaritySoft, not just a campaign that goes out, all right? I'm going to skip templates for a minute. Document Manager, this is a tab where you have 500 megabytes of storage space where you can upload different types of documents. Perhaps you have some standard brochures or some standard types of documents that you want your people to have access to. So you can click on Upload File, find the file that you'd like to upload, and then it will get uploaded here and stored so that somebody can come here and actually email it to someone directly from here. So they can click on it to email it, they type the person's email address, and off it goes. So it's a way to have some documents stored that are standard kinds of documents that you might want all of your sales team or your team to have access to, all right? And then the Clarity Mail, this is where you're going to start because you need to add the emails that you're going to send from that will go out through the email server. So it's very simple. You just click the add button and you type the sender's name. And I think this is a legit. Oh, I know what this one is. Okay, so you can choose any email address. You can put in things like info at, if you have that, sales at, marketing at, whatever. And you can put any username in here so that if a user is sending out a campaign of some sort, then that user can pick their own email address to send from. So you add the addresses that you want here. And then once you've done that, you're ready to start working with creating a new template. So then you can go to templates, and we have given you, I don't know, in the last 6-8 months, we've created some sample templates and stored them on all the databases. And over here we have different categories or folders. So there's a default folder, there's a holidays folder where you have some basic templates here, and when you open the template to edit it, you can put your own company name in, company logo, you know, add what you want here. So you're able to edit any of these templates and use them for yourself. And then we have some promotional ones. that we've put in. And we have some special occasion ones like birthdays and anniversaries and things like that. So 2 reasons these are helpful. One is you might be able to use them with just a few modifications. The second thing is if you open them up and look at them and how they're built, it helps you understand better how the templates are put together. So it gives you some ideas on how to do it. So make sure you check out the different folders that are over here, okay? And then you can see the sort of tacky looking ones. So I guess there's one right here those are the ones I've created. So anyway, all right. So when you're ready to create a template, you go to the Templates tab and you click on Create Template. And then a new window tab opens up at the top of the screen that is the email builder. And then on the left, up at the top here, we actually have 3, we'll call them tabs in this bar. The Blocks tab, the Content, and the Style. So what you do first is you look at the different blocks that are available. So you say, well, okay, I want to start maybe with a header title, okay? Or maybe I want to start with a picture up at the top. Whatever you want to start with, you decide upon, okay? Now I'm going to do my first block a little bit strangely, but it'll also show you how you can do that. I'm going to start with this one. Because what I want to do is I want to get an image over here. I do want a title that's my header, but I don't want all this small text and I don't want a button, all right? So that's where the Content tab comes in. Once you select a block, then you go to the Content tab and you can see, oh, well, I can turn things off. So I can turn off the button. The button is gone, okay? I do want this block here, this text, so we'll leave that, and I do want the title. So what you can do then is you can then upload an image, and images are things too you need to be aware of. If you're getting images off the internet, you want to make sure you have the copyright capability to send things out so you don't get in trouble. So you just need to make sure that's true too, because some images, you know, unless you purchase them, you're not allowed to send them out, and even some you may purchase, you might have to make sure that you are allowed to put them into email blast type of documents. So just check that before you start doing things and make sure you're staying in the legality there. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do, I want to add a title here. So I'm going to click in this box, take out title, and I want to call this the Daily Perk. We're doing nothing has to do with computers today. This is for a coffee shop. All right, and then I'm going to take this text and I'm going to replace it with Coffee and Tea Company. So you can see I picked a block that had the features that I wanted, but I'm completely changing the way I'm doing it to a certain degree. So once I've done this, I can select here, I can make this bold, but I also want to make it bigger. So now that has to do with style. So I come over here and click on Style. And when you're on the Style tab, you want to pay attention to these 2 buttons right here. This is global and this is local. So if you're on the global button, whatever changes you make to paragraph text or title text will apply to the whole template when you choose other blocks. If you choose local, then it will only apply to this one block. Well, in this case, I want local because I want to make this the main title of my little promo, I guess. And over here, you can see I have title. I get to choose a font, whatever I want for a font. You can pick, I'm going to stick with Arial just to make it easier. I get to choose a color, and I get to choose a size. So my maximum size happens to be 31, and then I can choose an alignment. Well, I'm going to leave this left aligned, okay? Then I'm going to go to my text here, and I'm going to make it bold as well, but I'm going to come over here in the paragraph. I'm going to leave it the black color, but I want to make it a little bit bigger. Okay, and the other thing I want to do to it is I want to center, align it so it's offset from the title. So I'm doing this a little bit of a, I don't know, fudgy way, but it gives you an idea that you can do different things, okay? The other thing that I want to do is I want to add a color in the background of this. So I'm still staying local. So what I want to do here, I have a background color and an external background. The external background is this light gray that's around the whole edge of the document. The background is just this. So I'm going to pick for the background this kind of orange color. And it just makes the title stand out a little bit more, okay? So for those of you that are out there, the really good graphics folks, you're probably gritting your teeth and saying, oh, that looks awful. But for those that aren't graphics folks, you'll get the message. All right, so then I move on to my next block that I want to put in. And my next block, what I want actually is I want a title and I want paragraph, but I don't want a picture. So I'm going to actually pick this one, which as soon as you click on it, it lays it in here. And you notice that these blue lines on either side are indicating that's the active block, okay? So the first thing I want to do is go to the Content tab, and I want to turn off the image, okay? And then my section title is going to be, well, here I can do this faster, folks. Nothing like copy and paste, okay? And then I can do the same thing here. And I can come in here. There we go. So you don't have to sit here and wait for me to type all this stuff. All right, so now when I go to my Style tab, I want to be on Global, because what I set for this title here and this text here and the button, I want to apply to any other block that I create. So I am going to select my text here for my title and come over here. I'll leave it at Arial, but I want to change the color. And let's see, maybe I'll make it a little bit bigger. Oops, no, I'll go back. Where'd I go? So we'll leave it at that. And I want to center it. So that is centered, okay? And then I can do the same thing here where I can select this text and come over to the paragraph and say, well, I want this one a little bit bigger. And then you can do alignment can be left, and the color can stay where it is. So we can do that. All right. And then the button, you can change the text of the button and type in what you want for your button name. And then you can come over here and choose the button color, which I'm going to make this brown color, and then I'm going to make the text color white. And the button position center. All right. So I've now put in my first section there, and then I can move forward. The next section I want, go back to my blocks. Oh, and then on the button, sorry folks, on the button right here, when you go, you can put the link here. So I could put, you could put your website or whatever there as the link. So if I put, that would be the link now on the button so that when somebody clicks on it, they'll go to claritysoft.com and they won't find anything that has to do with coffee. Okay, so back to my blocks, and I'll add one more quick block here. And I want these 3 pictures, titles. Notice the titles came in the right color, the right size, and the buttons are all there. Everything is formatted because I chose that global formatting for the style on my last block. So that makes it easy once you get started. And you just need to pay attention to that because sometimes you might intend to make a local change and you make a global change and then all of a sudden your whole thing changes, like, uh-oh, what did I do? So just, pay attention to that. So this one I can do very quickly, drop some images in. I don't have the greatest images, but we'll just throw in what we have here. And then this one. T. And this one. These need to be a little bit more style consistent than they are, but there we are. Now notice with these pictures, the bottoms are chopped off. So what you can do here, over here, we have fixed image height. Now if I turn this off, watch what happens. Because the pictures are all different sizes, you see how this gets staggered down because this one's the shortest one and so on. That's sort of a cool effect. Maybe you like that. But if you don't want that, then you turn on the fixed image height, which makes them all the same height. But now we're getting the pictures chopped off. So you come over here and you start increasing the image height until you can see all of the pictures, the full picture of each one. So that's kind of nice to be able to control that so that your pictures are coming from different sources. If they're not exactly the same, you can change that height and it keeps this lined up. So here, again, if I type my title in, and I can put this title in, and this was okay. So you get the picture on how you just start building section by section. Before you start, you could do maybe a quick layout type of thing, and then it might make it faster to build. Probably depends on you as a person. Some people are, like to start on a piece of paper, and other people prefer to start on the computer. So anyway, you can decide what you want to do and just start. And you can see what the text here, what I did is I typed my text into Microsoft Word, and then I'm just copying and pasting it in here. So makes it easier for you. Because you can do your editing in Word and get the wording the way you want it to go. Okay. So you could go in there, like you could bold, maybe save 20%. You could, do things in here, perk of the month club. You can select the text and bold it, whatever you want to do. So you just come in and do that. And then you can click bold up here to bold it. So that lets you do your formatting. And then you can change your button names and add your links to your buttons. So all of that you can just do as you're working. And while you're doing things too, you do have the ability to turn on a gallery here, which allows you to pull in files. So before I started uploading all my graphics, I could have come in here and I could have clicked on some of these other pictures that maybe I'm not sure whether I want to use them or not. And then I could lay them in here in the gallery, and then I could pull this one over here and drop it in. Say, yeah, I like that one. No, I don't like that one, and go back to this one. So it makes it easier for you if you have a number of different graphics, you can pull them into the gallery for a quick grab. To drag and drop them into your template. The one thing you do need to know, though, is unlike things like Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, things like that, when you have a gallery, usually when you save the file, it also saves your gallery with it, but here it does not. So when you save this and close it, you lose the gallery for the day, and then when you come back in to work on it tomorrow, if you're still working on it, you'll have to reset up your gallery. So just be aware of that, okay? So that is there for you to use, and then you can close it when you don't want to see it anymore. And then this little button here is your preview button, where when you click it over here, you now have 3 ways to preview your document. So this is the phone, what it's going to look like on a phone. This is for a tablet, how it will display on a tablet, and this is how it will display on a monitor. So this gives you a way to see, yes, it's working. You can see how it changes the title up here for the phone and changes the layout. And then you can scroll down and see how it looks, okay? And then for your tablet, with a little more screen space, it displays more correctly, all right? So that is there. And then again, if you don't want to see it anymore, you just click the button to turn it off. When you're ready to save it, you click the Save button here. And you're going to give your template a name. So I'm going to put a date on it because I've got another one. And then you choose, well, what folder do I want to place this in? So I'm going to just leave it in the default folder for now. And then you have template access of private or shared. When you create a template, only you see the template under the My Templates tab. And once you save the template, you can share it with other people. So, and other people can share templates they create, but your marketing templates right now, whatever you create, you're the only one who sees it. And then the subject line is the subject line that will go into the email when it sends. So I'll just say, get your daily perk, and then you choose the unsubscribe type. So your unsubscribe can be from a promotional email, if this is a promotional type email, a newsletter, a support email, or a commercial email. Okay. I'm not quite sure what the difference is here between this and promotional. I have to find out. But I'm going to put this in promotional email. So if a person unsubscribes from this, they're only unsubscribing from promotional type emails that I send out. They would not be unsubscribing from newsletter type or informational type emails that I send out. Okay. So once I do that, okay, why can't I click down there? Why does that come up? Okay, let's click away from this. How do we get out of this? Where am I? There. Okay, let me save this again. I don't know why that was there. Okay. Default. I'll just put the daily perk here and promotional and save it. So it will save it and return you back to here, and then you will see it. If I'm looking at my default folder, it does show up here after it saves somewhere. There. I just have to click on the tab for the folder, the My Templates, and there it is. So there it's saved there, okay? So once it's saved, then you've got down here a row action button where you can preview what the email looks like. You can open the builder to edit it. You can rename it. You can add a description to it, and here's where you can share it. You also can clone it. For example, if you create a newsletter that has a bit, a standard template to it, you can create your first newsletter and then clone the next one and change the text in it, and then when you no longer want it, you can delete it. So that's all there. Now we're ready to use our template. So to send an email, we then need to go to the module where we want to send the email from. Like I said, it can be from leads, contacts, opportunities, quotes, sales, activities, or support, okay? So you can go to your contacts module, and what we usually recommend is that you have some way to filter your list, okay? Now what I've done in here, I've created a custom field called communications, and I just made it a multi-select drop-down list where I can assign a person to multiple email lists, okay? You may filter by an industry type, you may filter by anything, but you want to have some sort of way to do that filtering so that you can pull up the list of people that you want to send your emails to. So if you don't have something like this, you probably want to add it to your database and the types of emails that you're sending out, because then it makes it really super easy to filter. So for example, if I wanted to filter for, let's say, promotional type emails, then I can go to the Spyglass button, advanced search, and I go directly to my communications field and pick promotional. Click search. It pulls up the list. I have 179. I can simply select those 179 and go do my email. Now, I'm not going to mail to these guys because these emails are not necessarily good ones. But what I also recommend is you save this list, which is what's nice about the advanced search, is you can save your view or your filter. So I can call this, I'm making this longer because I think I have one already in here. And I can save it, just promotional. I'll just call it promotional. Okay. So now what happens when I save it Save. Where did you go? Is it still duplicate? All right, let's try this again. Let me look over here first. Oh, no, I can't look. Never mind. This is a problem when you do too many. There. Okay. So now it's called promotional, and it's in this drop-down list of all of my different views. So you can see I have multiple ones here. But I can go back to all contacts, which is 222, and then I can say, well, I want to send a promotional email, pull my promotional list up, boom, done, 179. Now, if I add another person, if I update their record and choose promotional for one of their communications, then it will become 180. So this is a filter that updates. It's not a fixed list. Now I have a special list here I want to use because all the email addresses are to me, so I know they work. So I'm filtering for this. I click here to select all my records. I go to list actions and I want to go to marketing email. Email contacts will go out through your Outlook or your Gmail. That's your SMTP that you don't want to do 4,000 of them. You'll get in trouble. So I go to marketing email. Now this here, if you have a short list like I do, then I can do all records marked as checked. But if I have, more than 100, then I definitely want to do all filtered records because the check boxes only go for the first page and however many you have displaying. Okay, so you probably always want to pick all filtered records. Then click apply, and a new email window will open with a list of all of your recipients here, and at the bottom it will tell you how many. Okay, now it's possible if I had 179, when I get here, it tells me I have 165. That means that 14 of those records don't have an email address. So that's why there would be a difference in it. All right. So now I want to select the sender. And this is where you're going to see those Clarity mail addresses that you entered. So you can send from any one of those that you pick. Then I go to template and I then choose my template, which is in the promos folder. There it is. Is that the one? Nope, that's not the right one. Hold on. I put it in the default folder, didn't I? Wait a minute, I don't want to cancel. I did that wrong. Sorry, folks. I do want it in default, and it must be down. There it is. And also when you're clicking on these, do not click the link for the name of the file. Always click the icon. If you click this, it opens a web page. So always click on the icon. So there's my template. Now I need to select my sender again. Okay, so as soon as I select a ClaritySoft mail sender, notice that it's added a campaign line here where you get to name the campaign, and I could just call it, promo and 07142020 or whatever I want to call it. The recipient does not see this. The recipient sees the subject line, and that's the subject line I typed when I saved my template, okay? And I could change in here if I didn't like what I put here. So I'll just leave it for now, but I could type anything I want. So once it looks okay to you, then you're ready to send. Now notice there's automatically an unsubscribe at the bottom. I forgot to mention that at the bottom of all your templates, built into it is an unsubscribe so that people can do that. And that is required by law. You must have an unsubscribe in your emails when you're sending it, or you can get in trouble, okay? So that is in the templates by default. And then down here, I have the send button, but notice if I click to the right of it, this is where I can schedule things. I can schedule it for an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, in 2 days, 4 days, whatever. So literally, I could spend a day creating templates, saving them, and then scheduling them to go out over a span of time. And then they will just sit in ClaritySoft waiting to go when it hits the day that you said to go. So that makes it nice. You can also send at a specific time. Well, I'm going to send it right now, and we'll see what we get. So then it tells you how many you're sending. And you just click yes, and then you just go off and do something else, and those emails will go out. Now, when they're sent, in each contact record, there is an email campaigns tab, and it will tell you what email campaigns this person has received, and you can see the date. Okay, so here's one that I sent out on Sunday. Here's one from last week, okay, and here's some from last year. So once this one completes, it will be added to the list here. So this email campaigns is where all your marketing campaign emails will show up for any user, or not any user, any contact person. Your other email activities show up underneath the closed activities tab. So these are the things that you would see in that email tracking tab, and they are the individual emails that are sent out, or perhaps a small email blast that you send out through your Outlook or your Gmail, okay? So basically now if I go back to my marketing module, here's my campaign, and it's in the process of delivering right now. So it's sending them out. And like I said, you just kind of walk away from it and let it go, and then it will finish. Now, let's look at here. I told you we come back to this. So when you go back to a campaign and you click on the little expand button, you'll see the campaign overview. It'll show you how many emails were delivered. It will then show you how many opened it, how many clicks. Okay, so there were 5 of them were opened on the 13th that I sent out on the 12th, and 2 of them were opened on the 14th, today. Okay, and then down here it gives you the statistics on what was sent, what happened to it. All right, and then here you have a list of your recipients, and you can see the status. Was it delivered? Did it bounce? Was it dropped? That sort of thing. And then when was it last read? Okay. So here you've got filters for the delivered ones, for the bounced ones, so you can see. And in process, if there are any still in process, queued. These would show up for when you're scheduling something. They're queued and ready to go. Which ones were read? So there are the 2 that were read. So you can get your statistics here, see what's going, see what kind of results under the campaign. And then here, you can view the contacts. This lets you, this is kind of nice, just like in some of the other list action things, you can view the contacts for a campaign, and it will pull up a list of the contacts, or take you to the contacts module and show you a list of the contacts that were emailed that. That's kind of nice, because then maybe you want to call these guys, or maybe you want to do something else. So rather than having to hunt around for them, you can just view them directly from the marketing module by choosing View Contacts, okay? Which is nice to do. Saves you time and effort. So explore these buttons here, okay? You can also export your list of contacts out to Excel if you wanted to do that. So just get in there and explore. But that's the basic process. So once you set up your Clarity Mail and you create your templates, then you're good to go on starting to send out emails. So what are the things that you need to think about when you're doing this? Let me go back to my PowerPoint here. And I do want to, wait a minute, let me go back to ClaritySoft real quick, because this is in our knowledge base now. If you go to the knowledge base, which is the question mark, and hold on, I'm going to close this here right now. Then when you get here, type in, I'm going to type in custom marketing. And what you're going to get the marketing module, custom marketing package. And when you go to that link, over on the left, you're going to see all of the topics for the marketing module. So campaign attachments, campaign tracking, Clarity Mail, all of that, okay? So this custom marketing package is if you want to get your own domain. And if you watch this little video, this is really helpful to view, and it explains the process and why it's good to do, because it makes your emails come from you directly. Now let me bring over, here's one of the emails that came in. I got too many windows open on my other monitor trying to grab it. So you can see here when this comes in, it's from Susan equals claritysoft.com, claritysoft or claritymail5.com on behalf of Susan Arnold at susan@claritysoft.com. So this gets really big and clunky here. Whereas if you get your own domain, then this stuff gets dropped away, and it basically is coming directly from you. This kind of thing will get through some of the filters on networks. A lot of network managers are really clamping down on things, not letting certain things through. They also look for like trigger words like free and, you know, all this sort of stuff where you're trying to sell these products. And they look for that because they figure, well, that's a bunch of spam. We don't want it to come in because nobody's going to sell us anything for free here at our company. So you want to look for those kinds of things. And then down here are some terms that you may not understand for your domain reputation and sender score. When you're sending out emails, it's checking to see, well, how many bounces did you have out of how many you sent? You know, how many, you know, messages were filtered at the site where the server wouldn't let them in, things like that, how many were rejected. So you want to read these terms and understand them, so when you're designing your templates, you are fitting your templates into the design that's actually going to get through. Because like I said, they're starting to really clamp down on this because so many of us are sending out emails all the time. You know how many you get in the course of a day. And so, and you also know some of them land in your junk folder. And you need to look at those and see, well, why did my junk folder pick that one up and not this other one that I got, and start to analyze that. But this is good help here. We just put this out here yesterday. So you want to look at that, and we give you some places to go for other tips. Another one is to really check to make sure that the emails that you have are accurate. There are you know, places you can go that will verify or validate your emails right here. we give you a suggestion in there. This print is rather tiny. So you can go there and, you know, if you're getting lists from various sources, you may want to have them run through the email validation just to make sure they are good email addresses before you start sending out to them. So, and then here's a document you can download, tips to prevent going to spam. Some of you that may have already started working with the marketing module, we've sent this to you, but anybody else can download this from here. So use this to help you kind of get started, get comfortable with this, and decide if you'd like this custom domain setup. You know, at least understand what it does and how it works, and then you can decide what to do. So it's a big thing anymore. It's not just, you know, make up an email and send it out to 1,000 people. It is really, there are things that are watching everything out there, and they're analyzing it, and you know, yours might end up going into the junk folder because of one image that you have or one phrase that you have. So you just want to really pay attention to all of that if you're just getting into this. So anyway, that's that. And then I just basically put a lot of, this is from that preventing going to spam document. I just took some of the highlights out of that. Attachments are not good. Don't attach things. Put them inside the email as a link, okay? So that most viruses get sent through via email in attachments, so you don't want to use attachments unless it's very obvious what it is. Also with your pictures, with all of your pictures, you can add what's called alternative text to it, and you can do that in the template builder, so that, you know, when you get an email, usually when it comes into Outlook or something, they don't display the pictures right away. They just, you have to right click and say download pictures. But if you have alternative text associated with the picture that will display, that will tend to get you through filters more easily than if you don't do that. So read these rules, think about them, look at the things that you're creating, and, you know, see what you can do to help yourself be more successful with your emails getting through. So this is the same, this is from the website to the knowledge base. I just took these terms and just said, well, here they are. So you can go to the knowledge base and look all this up. And then there's a website out there called senderscore.org. And that's I think this is where a lot of this information was taken from. But if you go out there, you can look out there and see. Okay, so I think that's all for the day. Then this is the marketing package where you can find out about that if you're interested in that. So thank you for attending. Hopefully I've given you some good information today that will help you as you launch off into the marketing email realm. If you need any help with anything and you're not currently working with your quick start person, Linda or myself, then you can call support at 888-838-7487, extension 2, or email them at support@claritysoft.com and they'll get with you. And if you have any future requests for additional topics in the future, I'm always thinking of different ones, but you may have some ideas too. Please send them to us at info@claritysoft.com or any comments that you have. I haven't been paying attention to the chat window, so let me see here. Oh, I think that person maybe has anonymous. Okay. How do you handle this when you want to run your names through something like Never Bounce? So you just have to get that, answer it, run it through, and then find the ones that are bad emails and then fix them in your database. You might have to either, you know, delete an email so you don't have an email address for the person, or do some digging to find out what it is. Okay. So anyway, thanks for coming. Have a good rest of the day and have a good rest of the week.